Let's go to the second round, which because the first round essentially touched upon, the problems or the what of it, and now we want to hear more about the solutions, right? So from each one, we would like to hear what are the key policy recommendations or take-home messages that you would like this conference to take back with. We start with you, Dr. Adhikar.
Thank you. Thank you again. I was thinking that I would first address the questions and then we'll move to the.
Sure, but let's because some of the questions that were talked about, the diet diversity, resilience, interministerial collaborations, I think they could be part of the solution also. But let's, if you want, let's quickly go.
Let's quickly address some of the questions that regarding Anita's questions. Yes, we need to have that on balance still, because what our figure shows that in terms of the cereal crops, Nepal is self-sufficient, but in terms of the food insecurity or hunger, 33 districts out of 75 are still have not got sufficient food. So that speaks the 40% of the total area. So the accessibility is a major issue here. Although the potato, which is also the staple crop, is not included in this availability issue. So there comes another point of your cross-border issues. What I would like to highlight and at the later stage as well is it's the policy integrations between the region is also very important. That's India's policies has a huge impact on our food and nutrition security status, and that changes every years if they changes. So that's on to land use. I cannot have many things to say about this. How can we actually increase that? We are in fact decreasing that. Urbanizations are going on. The conflict has moved peoples out of from rural to urban centers. So this is really a big issue that we don't have automatic solutions here. There was a questions about the collectivity. Yes. In some aspect, there are the issue of nutrition security or food security is more local, but the weather shocks, issues of weather shocks is the regional. For example, the effect of climate change on Nepal could have direct and detrimental impact on Bangladesh and other downstream countries, but nutritional insecurity is more a local issues that it is integrated with other sectors, not only the agriculture, for example, education, health. Like that. That's some of the questions that I would like to address. Up to you, please.
No, I will not go to address these questions first, because I think first I would like to see what Pakistan is doing or can do to address the issues of of resilience for food and nutrition. A lot of things are being done in Pakistan to address the issue. There is, for example, we have National Disaster Management Authority. It has done a wonderful job to coordinate the donors' activities during floods of 2009, when about 25 million people were affected. But then it has very little done to prepare the country for the next disasters. It's a type of reactions rather than proactive approach of the authority. Then we also have the Benazir Income Support Program in response to the 2009 price hikes of food prices. Under this program, every beneficiaries is getting about I think $12 now every month for supplement the high food cost. It is costing the country 70 billion rupees at that time during 2012 and 13, which was about $600 million, and it is reaching 5.5 million families, which is about 40% of the poor. But again, the program is to tackle one crisis, not to really create the resilience for this type of shocks, when it's coming. So because food prices is continuously increasing, so there is no way we can withdraw this support, and I do not know how long the political leadership can afford this cost, because it's it's type of 5% of the development cost. It's very, very big cost. Again, the issue is not addressed properly. We have also the Prime Minister's youth loan programs, under which those who will apply, they will give the loans to 100,000 youth people who wanted to start the new enterprises. They will provide the certain training also, but then it's quite a big loan, about $2,000 to $20,000 per youth. So this again does not address the very poor people, because those poor people does not have the knowledge and the capacity to start the new enterprises. So this is addressing basically those youth who have the skill, information, and knowledge to establish and also collaterals to establish the new businesses. Then we have the concern of the country for the food security is quite high. That's why in the region we are the only country where we have food security and research ministry. So we wanted to address it at a very high level. The whole ministry has announced the zero hunger programs, under which it can have offered various programs, school lunches and school feedings, and certain research programs, and also coordination under different departments and ministries in the provinces at federal level, health ministries, and service providers and type of things. But let's see, this is only a new initiative 2 years before the ministry was established, and still we are looking how it will go around. So, and again, we have the small and medium enterprise development, SME, which has, which support the small loans and provide the training programs and this type of things. This institute is there for about last 10 years, but I think it needs independent evaluation. Its impact seems to be not very much, although it has a very broad agenda to help the poor by providing them, especially the women, by providing them small loans and trainings and identification of the enterprise, feasibility studies, and type of things. And we have the Pakistan Poverty Alleviation Programs, which has also a big agenda of, for example, main objective is eradication of poverty. It has also wanted to achieve universal primary education, promote gender equality, and for that they have different programs to do that. But I think their budget is mainly donor driven. Mostly the budget comes from the World Bank and USAID and others, so it actually does not have independent type of decisions to do what they really wanted to do. Whatever donor says, now do this, they can really approach that. And also we have the Pakistan Strategy Support Program of IFPRI, which is really developing models how the change in water flow in rivers will affect the agriculture production and nutrition. And it also is mapping, poverty mapping at regional level and productivity mapping at regional levels. So I think those are quite good programs to help the initiatives.
Yeah, so Dr. Ali, I think these are some good example of how a nation can and would like to deal with some of these issues that we have been discussing.
Yeah.
But often the problem is that there are good policies, there are good ministries, there could be good infrastructure set up and all that, but somehow it has very little reflection on the real need or real nutrition
That's come
data.
to my recommendation to next.
Right.
So I'm putting
let's move on to those recommendations as to what are the two key policy recommendations that you would like to bring so that all these programs become more effective in addressing the issues we are addressing today.
Yeah. Although the country was badly affected with the international price hike, but there is no really formal mechanisms where we can really forecast the regional prices, regional supply and demand of the foods, and international supply and demand of the food. So it is always a reactionary mechanism, not
Not
really
the
proactive forecasting of regional productions and see what is the availability of food. For example, in previous days in Tharparkar, there was a great famine. And which affected about 2 million people, and the leadership did not know that until it became a crisis. Right? It happened 6 months before, and nobody noticed that until it became a serious crisis and the political government was at stake. Then they did something, but there was no really alarming mechanism which can tell something is going to happen bad in certain areas. So I think that need to be established and similarly, weather forecasting mechanism need to be improved. And also, I think those resilience support programs need more ownership of the political leadership as well as of the communities. It should not be foreign driven. It should not be what they think is important, but what the communities and society think are important, which need to be change their structure altogether from the present one.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ali.